The MMA world has seen its fair share of surprises, but nothing could have prepared fans for the shockwave Dana White just unleashed. With a single decision, he may have changed the course of UFC history, pushing the sport into uncharted territory. It's a move that promises growth, exposure, and evolution, yet one that has split the fan base right down the middle. Some are hailing it as a bold step into the future, while others believe it marks the beginning of the end. The controversy is real. The reactions are fierce. The consequences are already rippling through the fight community. For years, UFC fans have lived under the pay-per-view model, shelling out hefty sums every month just to catch the biggest cards. Love it or hate it, that system has defined the sports business for decades. But starting in 2026, everything changes. The UFC's long-standing partnership with ESPN will come to an end, and the Octagon will find a new home. Dana White has struck a deal with Paramount Plus, an agreement worth a staggering $7.7 billion over 7 years. That's about $1.1 billion per year and beyond the dollars. It comes with a monumental shift. No more traditional pay-per-view in the US. Instead, fans will have access to every event through Paramount's streaming service with select blockbuster fights even making their way onto CBS. For Dana White, this isn't just a business transaction, it's a personal mission. He's been vocal for years about pushing the UFC into the mainstream alongside the biggest sports leagues in the world. He wanted a deal that matched the UFC's global stature, something that could rival the NFL, NBA, and MLB in terms of reach and accessibility. He even considered platforms like Netflix, chasing an ambitious $1.5 billion yearly target. While Paramount fell short of that figure, they delivered something Dana couldn't resist: exclusivity, national broadcast exposure, and the chance to revolutionize how fight fans experience the UFC. White wasted no time hyping up the historic nature of the deal. Posting on social media, he declared it a turning point, not only for the promotion, but also for the fighters and the fans. According to him, this move makes the sport more affordable, more accessible, and more visible than ever before. No more $80 pay-per-views, he essentially promised. Every fight, every card, one subscription. Add CBS to the mix. And you've got UFC on primetime network television, a stage that could turn fighters into household names overnight. Imagine the White House lawn on the 4th of July, America's 250th birthday, hosting a UFC mega event broadcast to millions for free. It's not just a dream. Dana White insists it's already in the works. But in the world of combat sports, nothing is ever universally accepted. The announcement may have thrilled some, but for others, it was an outrage. Social media quickly turned into a battlefield of clashing opinions. Some fans celebrated the end of expensive pay-per-views, finally free to watch their favorite fighters without burning a hole in their wallets. Others felt betrayed, refusing to hand their money to Paramount, accusing Dana of selling out and dooming the sport. One fan put it bluntly, "Dana, congratulations. This is the death of the UFC." Another refused to even consider subscribing, saying they'd rather walk away than support Paramount. Straight up, expletive, Paramount, they wrote. Yet, not all voices carried bitterness. For every critic, there was a fan ready to defend the decision. All the haters are dumb, one supporter argued. Pay-per-view was ridiculous in this economy. $12 a month is a bargain. For them, this was a long overdue win, a necessary step to bring MMA into the future. And that's the paradox Dana White finds himself in. On one hand, he's securing the sport's biggest media deal ever. It's guaranteeing stability and growth for the UFC. On the other hand, it's risking alienation from the very fan base that made the sport what it is today. The true impact won't be known until 2026, but for now, the debate rages on. Meanwhile, just the drama outside the boardrooms is no less intense. UFC 319 looms on the horizon, and with it, one of the most anticipated fights of the year. Dricus du Plessis prepares to face the undefeated juggernaut Khamzat Chimaev. And if you think the odds are stacked against him, you're not alone. Sportsbooks have labeled du Plessis the underdog, but the South African contender isn't fazed. In fact, he welcomes it. The odds don't make fights, fighters do, du Plessis declared, brushing off the betting lines with defiance. To him, numbers on a screen mean nothing. What matters is what happens when the cage door closes, insists. That his preparation, his mindset, and his willpower set him apart. "I'm built different," he says, promising to shock the world on fight night. It's the kind of underdog story fans live for, but standing across from him will be one of the most dangerous men to ever set foot in the Octagon. Khamzat Chimaev isn't just a fighter, he's a storm, and storms are not easy to stop. Fight. Week has arrived, and the pressure is building. For Chimaev, the final 7 days are always a test of endurance and discipline. The brutal weight cut, the endless media obligations, the mental grind before the war. This time, though, there's an extra layer of tension. Rumors swirl that Topuria, another rising star, has made his way to Chicago during Chimaev's fight week. The two have a history, training together back in Sweden, and their sparring sessions are still talked about today. Even if Topuria isn't in Chimaev's corner, his presence at such a crucial time raises eyebrows, complicating matters further. Chimaev is close friends with both Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan, two men who can't stand each other. Their feud has been simmering for months, fueled by insults and accusations of ducking fights. If Topuria and Tsarukyan cross paths in Chicago, the tension could boil over. And for fight fans, that kind of real-life drama is almost as entertaining as the fights themselves. Beyond the chaos of Fight Week, the UFC is already plotting the future. Rumors suggest Topuria could be lined up for a clash with Justin Gaethje at UFC 323 in Las Vegas. Initially, some insiders claimed Tsarukyan would be Topuria's next opponent, but momentum has shifted. Gaethje, with his fan-friendly style and brawler mentality, makes perfect sense as a stepping stone. At 36, with countless wars behind him, Gaethje remains dangerous, but he's also vulnerable. For Topuria, it's an ideal showcaser, a chance to defend his belt. Add a highlight to his reel, an inch closer to the mega fight Dana White is carefully crafting: Topuria versus Makhachev. This is the fight the UFC desperately wants. A clash of styles and personalities that could redefine the lightweight division. Protecting Topuria until then seems to be the strategy. Give him a fight with Gaethje, a name that sells, a warrior fans love, and let him shine under the bright lights. For Gaethje, it's another payday. Maybe one last dance. For Topuria, it's about legacy, momentum, and destiny. While the matchmaking puzzle continues to unfold, one fighter has made his feelings clear. Charles Oliveira, still recovering from his devastating loss to Topuria, isn't happy with the way the lightweight division is shaping up. Just 3 months removed from a brutal knockout, Oliveira is already demanding a return, throwing his name into the mix against anyone willing. His warrior spirit is undeniable, but questions remain. Is it too soon? Is he risking everything? By rushing back, the unforgiving world of MMA, pride and courage sometimes come at a heavy price. From billion-dollar deals to bitter rivalries,